Hello everyone, welcome to the launch of the Agrippa 4. Or, no, this is the Augustus 4. It's gonna rendezvous with Agrippa. So, if you've been following along to our episodes, you have known we've launched two of these Augustus spacecraft. One is currently stranded in high orbit of Jool. Ran out of fuel, or I think I could probably make it to pole. It's so close. I'm not gonna risk it. So I'm gonna send this rescue mission. Also gotta rescue some Kerbals. But the difference with this vehicle, some minor things. We added some RTGs, so it's got power forever. That was a thing we're missing Augustus 3. It's kind of embarrassing. But I gave it 2 RTGs, so I think what I'll be able to do is I'll take one of the RTGs off and put it on the other. Oh my god, I forgot the goddamn engineer. How much does the launch cost? I forgot an engineer. Alright, we got rest. We gotta land this. I mean, we should. If we were smarter, we would send the engineer up afterwards, but... Man. Well, too late now. Probably should have. Probably should not have done that. Let's test out. Let's test out Kerbal landing of the Augustus 4. I only put pilot on. I forgot the engineer. Please don't destroy anything. Looks like we're gonna be landing like straight on top of the facilities we got here. I'm just gonna lower our velocity a little bit, burn off some fuel. Oh, come on, deploy parachutes. Let's go. Oof. Oh. That's a sight. Emergency abort of the Augustus 4. What a nice place to land, though. And I lost the landing legs. You know, I'm almost tempted just to leave it here as like a monument. Look at that. Hey, Chad, aren't you supposed to be at Jool by now? Yeah, I forgot the engineer, though. So, had to bring it back. Oh, that didn't cost us too much money. The ship itself is the most expensive part, so we're recovering the entire ship except for the landing legs. So it should be like, what, 200,000? 300,000? Alright. So I think we only lost about 150,000 on that, maybe. But we need the engineer for the structural stability. So, at least we know we could do abort successfully. It's always a good thing. Alright. Second time's a charm. So, but the main difference with this mission is that last episode, when we were rescuing Chad, we launched up the Agrippa fuel tank. Now, that fuel tank will give us about 1,000 meters per second extra delta V, which should make getting into the Jool system much easier. And just maneuvering around, and we'll be able to leave that fuel tank in like lace orbit, so that we're just gonna have a lot more advantages now that we got a good fuel tank. Might just keep that fuel tank in the Jool system, honestly. And I call it this the Augustus and that the Agrippa because Augustus and Agrippa were good friends back in ancient Rome. So it's a good pair of guys. Thrust to waste a little bit low on this stage, I guess. I don't know. The Augustus 3 can make it to orbit. So can we. Gonna tip over slightly. Excuse me. Man, this cold will not go away. We gotta get to orbit. You know, I think one of the parts with the Augustus 3 mission, or the problems, is that the ship itself was not fully fueled. It only had like, I don't know, 3,000 meters per second, I believe, when we went to Jool. So, if it was fully fueled, it probably would have the Delta V necessary to land on pole and begin the refueling operation. Now this ship, it should still have, it should be better, I'll say that. I think it's probably still going to be pretty tight, but should be landing a pole with a couple extra 100 meters per second. There we gotta really kick out our acceleration. The group itself is the Augustus itself is a very capable lander. Very high thrust to weight ratio. So should be able to kick us into orbit fairly easily. Alright. I think we need to limit the gimbal on these. Kind of like one of those, like, you know, looks like a spaceship. There you go. Our Apoapsis is still in the atmosphere, it's like just in front of us barely. So we gotta accelerate it out of the atmosphere, and then we gotta go dock with the, what's it called? The Agrippa. I think this episode we may just do the docking. So we gotta go to work in a couple of hours. Cruise up to our Apoapsis, which is now in the atmosphere. Not the best launch to orbit, I will be the first to admit, but see, I don't think we have space stations enabled, but there's the Agrippa. It's in a higher orbit than I remember it being in. I guess I put it way up there. Really? 210? I'll have to double check the video, but I know we had to do some docking. 105. Oh yeah, I think that's the correct orbit. Slightly eccentric. And we'll have to check the Delta V, but I may send up another. I did refuel the Agrippa already, but I may send up more fuel just to top off these tanks, because I think they are lighter than we were with the Augustus 3. So don't want to end up in the exact same situation as the Augustus 3, where we got stranded in Jool orbit. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off the vector engines, so we'll just be using our most efficient vacuum optimized Rhino engine. See, I think the specific impulse is 315 versus 340. So alright. We've entered orbit. Now, the Augustus has a periapsis around 100,000, so that's what we're selling our apoapsis to. Then we will need to do a phase change burn, or inclination change, I should say. And I think while we're doing the inclination, I'll also offset our apoapsis slightly, so it lines up with, or our periapsis and apoapsis line up with the Agrippas. Well, welcome back to orbit, guys. Chad and Bark Gun. Yeah, they were just here. But neither one of them has ever gone beyond. Or Barkun, this is actually his first time. Chad was just here, but Barkun's never left Kerbin. He's fresh hire. So going to save, you know, this is a rescue mission of a rescue mission. Well, we have to save, I think his name's Orhart, in orbit of Pole. And in order to do that, we'll then be able to save Jebediah, and we'll have 2 landers in case one explodes or something. And a fuel tank that they could both share. But we'll be able to push the fuel tank around and fuel it, and everything will be nice. Excuse me. So I'm just gonna do our inclination change right here. Beautiful. Guess we got some debris on the surface right there. Nice. Now, how long is it going to take to intercept the Agrippa? Our separation is a little over 1,000 kilometers, and it will be closing by a factor of, it's increasing. But we are gaining on the Agrippa. Oop, that's too fast. Oh, hang on. This looks promising. I think if we have a... Oh, stop. I think if we add a maneuver here, we'll be able to slow down enough where we rendezvous. No? Stop going so fast, please. Right there. What's the separation distance? 11 kilometers. 8. 6. We'll have to go with 6. It's pretty high, but we'll be able to slow down relative velocity and oh, That maneuver node has already occurred. Or it's about to occur. 6 kilometers, that's kind of like the edge of like distances I like to like intercept at. Usually try to get closer down to 1 kilometer, but 6 will do. Then we can just fly across whatever the distance is. Orbit's not really all that hard once you kind of figure it out. Or docking. Dockings, orbit, it's all the same. Looks like we're going away from Agrippa right now. It's 8 kilometers away. I think I'll just fly straight to it right now. Well, once you get within, like, I don't know, less than 10, you can kind of start just heading towards the target. It does mess up your orbit in the long term the further away you are, but if you could get to the target before, like, any meaningful travel in your orbit, then you could always fix whatever weird errors you've accumulated. And if your vehicle, or if the other guy is in a stable orbit, then all you need to do is also try to match his orbit if you're close enough, and that will put you back into a stable orbit. So, gonna go ahead and cancel out our relative velocity to the target, and then we'll probably dock. Do need to still close the distance quite a lot though. So this should be a pretty straightforward dock too. These vehicles are made to dock. Now I am a little bit concerned about pushing the Agrippa on top of because the Agrippa it'll dock like right here where my mouse is. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, but I think it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now, within 100 meters per second now, or 100 meters, 80, going fast. Gonna cancel out all of our relative velocity, and then we'll do the rendezvous entirely with RCS thrusters, or the docking I should say. Yeah, definitely burned a lot more fuel than I was expecting. The good thing though is that we should be able to. Let me turn on the lights here for this craft. If we really wanted to, we could just send all the fuel from the Agrippa into this vehicle. Let me open the docking shield. I did that to protect during reentry. I don't know if it'll work, but I thought it was worth a try. Control from here. Set as target. And then now we need to set this one as our target. And we'll point towards that. So now the two docking ports will be aligned on the same booster. If you notice, the Agrippa has turned purple, which I believe is because of the red and blue light from our spacecraft. That's kind of cool how they blend together. So great. Now let's approach the target. Aim at the target. Set our velocity. Oh, that's the landing gear. To approach it at I don't know, 1 meter per second should do. How far away are you from again? 15 or 100 meters. I don't like the angle. Kind of makes it a little bit hard to see our spacecraft a little bit, but wait, do I not have any thruster control? No. Okay, there we go. But the commentary in these videos is weird. The missions are impressive, the story is good, the commentary. I will admit, I'm not really a content creator type. But I do love playing Kerbal Space Program. And I think these missions are really interesting. I don't know. How many people actually do stuff like this well? I say as if I killed like so many Kerbals. Slow down. I just realized I think our... Oop, there we go. Easy! Ha! We have docked with the Agrippa. We got, what, 4,000 meters per second about? Now here's the cool part. Here's the part where I'm really glad they added this in. So it used to be that you couldn't strut things together as easily in this game, but now that you could do an EVA, you could strut together things you dock. So you could it allowed for the construction of larger ships, which was very helpful. So let's just hang out here. We'll grab a... This is an engineer, right? Why can't I pick these up? Okay, there we go. You know, maybe I should have added a ladder here too. I think that's what I'll do in hindsight. He still gets in the way a little bit. That's whatever. Yeah, I probably should have added a ladder, just so I could stay on it, don't have to worry about floating away. Nice. Everything's all smoothly connected. Let's just take a step back to admire these spacecraft for a second here. Look at that. It's beautiful. Alright, let's go back into our own spacecraft. Camera angles are a little bit awkward. I'll reorientate the ships so they're more easily visible. And then I think we'll end the episode there. The rescue mission of the rescue mission, Agrippa 4. Yeah, I think I'm really liking the Augustus lander. Now the only place it's actually landed is the mud. They do a flyby of Dres, and oh, that's on Kerbin, okay. Oh, that vibration looks kind of funny. You know, I'm just now realizing that this cargo bay is on slightly askew. Look at that. How long to Jool? Jool in 250 days. Not bad. So yeah, you guys just hang out here, and then I'll send the refueling craft up, I think. Refuel it, just top it off, and then we'll go to Jool. So probably do that mission after work. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.